and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Well, you guys who listen to me and also follow me on Instagram, especially Instagram stories on Sunday nights, I've had some fun watching 90 Day Fiancé with my teenage son, Drake, because he really has some doozies that he comes up with. And he said the other day, he goes, Mom, do you know there's a show about people watching shows? Basically, they're doing exactly what we're doing. Well, he doesn't know that the People's Couch and other shows have been doing this for a while. But yes, so we were watching 90 Day Fiancé and some fun things happened. I thought last night was the finale. It is not. There is one more. But let's go through a couple, starting with David. Now, David was a real gem. He's 6 years old. He has this enormous, large leather trench coat with way too big of shoulder pads. It's way too long. It's hideous. He's probably had it for 25 years. He's 6 years old. And he goes to the Ukraine for the 7th time. The 6 times previous, or maybe it's been 5 times he's been flaked, but he's been talking to this girl, Lana, from the Ukraine for 7 years. He's gone to the Ukraine 5 or 6 times to meet her. She's blown him off every time. This last time he goes back, even after a private investigator says she's a scammer, she's on several websites, he's like, you're fired. He goes back to the Ukraine because Lana says, I'll meet you now. He gets there on a Friday, and Lana says, well, I can't meet you today, tomorrow, or Sunday because my nephew has some soccer games I'd like to attend. But I'll meet you Monday. And all of a sudden last night, we see her. She's real. She's beautiful. She's 28. However, I think she looks a little older than 28, but she's 28. She tells her friend that she's going to meet David, and she's excited. She's excited to go to Las Vegas and be with him. She believes he might be her soulmate, and she just really wants to get to America. So then she says, he's good looking. I've been talking to him for a long time. He seems to be paid well. And they show what she's been looking at, which then my son Drake is like, oh my God, Lana's been catfished. We see David looking much younger. He's standing in front of a Ferrari in his thing. He's tan. He looks, thinner. Everything about it. So Drake is like, she doesn't know that she's going to be living in an RV in Las Vegas with unicycles because in the beginning, I don't know if you know, but David likes to ride and collect unicycles, and he wants to live in an RV and travel America with her, when really she wants to go to Las Vegas and go shop at all the high-end stores and have some fun. So we then see her. She finally comes to him. He hugs her in his big leather jacket, and he brings her a Victoria's Secret bag, which isn't exactly Prada, but and that's where they are. Now with Jeffrey is the really good-looking guy. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee. He has 2 sons and I think a third younger son. What we found out about him is that there were these domestic violence charges against him, but we don't know if they were ever founded. What is true? He appears to be on the show a really nice, cute guy with horrible tattoos. He falls in love with Varnya, who is this pretty girl who speaks perfect English from Russia. He tells her that he does have a past, not the domestic violence thing, but that he used to sell drugs and did time in jail. But since then, he's cleaned up his act. She's a little skittish. He asked her to marry him. She says, not now. He's like, well, then we're done. He goes back to Knoxville and he starts dating, which we see on the show, the girl that was like his best friend, who was like, why are you going to Russia to find a girl when I'm right here? He gets all dressed up. They start dating. His sons are excited about him dating her. And then we see that Varnya gets on a plane, spends one night in a hotel, gets gorgeous to see Jeffrey because he's so fun and special, and meets him at the door. Now, I'm sure he knew the cameras are coming or whatever. We're going to interview you and your new girlfriend. And then the TLC plopped her knocking on the door. She has no clue. And just then, it's like a Jerry Springer moment. The new girlfriend is like, what's going on here? And none of this, I think, is bullshit. Did the TLC producers push her to go back? Did they pay for the ticket for her to go to America and give it one more shot? Probably, but this was pretty authentic and good. So that was pretty juicy. That's where we leave it there. the two lesbians who Drake refers to as Rainbow Bright because she just wears like unicorns and she has purple and pink hair and she's a YouTuber. She's bisexual, and her other girlfriend, Erica, their whole thing was so boring and so lame. I don't even know if they ever made out or scissored or anything. I call bullshit on the whole thing. And Rainbow Bright says, I had an on and off relationship with a girl for the last 10 years. Well, she's only like 23 years old, so I don't know how she's been, but maybe she's had a girlfriend since she was 13. Erica leaves Australia. That's where we are with that. The other Australian couple, the guy that did the horrible dating seminar, he and his ex-wife, they have a 10-year-old boy, Taj, and I think her name's Avery, is a very nice, normal, single mom herself. She meets his ex. She's like, there's no way this woman is going to allow her 10-year-old son to come and live with us in America when they live in Australia. And we just start to realize that he's kind of a weirdo, which we already knew. But now she's realizing he's a weirdo. Ash is his name. Then, okay, now Big Ed. Last week we saw Big Ed. Rose has said, I've had it. I've had it with you. You've embarrassed me 3 times. You told me that I should brush my teeth more. You said I need to shave my legs, that they were like a man. And what else did she say? And Ed told me that I have to get an STD because he doesn't know where I've been. And I said, I don't know where you've been. But, then he still had sex with her. An STD, what'd I say?
Just an STD.
Yes, STD test. Anyway, I guess he did just sleep with her without the STD. They had sex. He met her family. Then he told her to brush her teeth. She said, I have an ulcer, probably stressed about what I'm doing with you, weirdo. She leaves. He comes back to the hotel room. He's like, she's really gone. And he whips out his suitcase. And you guys, he had a Big Ed sticker on his suitcase. So that means he had merch. Because we see now, if you're following him, he's very big on social media. He has all this Big Ed and Teddy, his dog, merch, stickers, blankets, towels, everything. But he had the original photo of him, Big Ed sticker on his suitcase before the show ever aired. So Rosemarie claims he did this all for fame and that he didn't really love her. And I don't know if that's true. I think had she gone back to America with him, he would have been down for it. But she really kind of saw what maybe the motivation was. I think having the merch before the show ever aired says a lot. That was one detective work. And then for Usman and baby girl Lisa. Usman is Soulja Boy from Nigeria. And baby girl Lisa, Drake also goes, where's the grandma and the rapper? That's what he calls him, the grandma and the rapper. She is like 51, but she really looks a lot older than that. And she's absolutely she's super jealous. And maybe rightfully so, because she looks in his phone one night after they finally get her divorce papers so that they can get married in Nigeria. Once they get married in Nigeria, then he can come to America under the spousal visa. So that's why they're getting married there versus bringing him here. It's too hard to bring him here without him being her husband. And the only way they can get married is if she got her paperwork from her divorce. So she did. So they go out to celebrate. And then she goes, I tell you something right now, Usman. I looked on your phone and I saw that some girl did some heart emojis on you and you said that you loved her. And I'm sick of this bullshit. And, and she's just cussing up a storm. And he's like, I really want to come to America. But baby girl Lisa, she's so jealous. I mean, I want to come to America. I want to perform in there. And, but the fact that she just screams at me all day, I don't know if I'd want. So then Drake and I cracked the case. What if Yolanda, who also lives in Las Vegas, who's been talking to this guy named Williams, who also then some Nigerian contacted her. She's been talking to Williams in Nigeria, and she had no idea that Williams had stock modeling photos out there. Why wouldn't he tell me that he was a model for stock photos? Obviously, she's being catfished. But what if she's being catfished by Usman? What if Usman is the Nigerian that's writing to Yolanda, and Yolanda wrote back, I love you, thinking she's talking to Williams when it's Usman, and baby girl Lisa sees that exchange and then comes after Yolanda? How amazing would that be? Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. But I really loved that Drake put on his Juicy Scoop detective work and actually thought this could possibly happen. So we've got another episode. It is pretty fun of a show. All right, let's get into Real Housewives of New York. Well, hopefully you guys are following me on Instagram and here on YouTube, because I post all of these great videos that I do. And I did a reenactment of Sonia from last week's episode. Let me tell you what's going on. Dorinda is just losing her mind. She's breaking up with John. And she tells Sonia, she goes, I just don't understand John. I need an indoor cat. He's an outdoor cat. And he doesn't really, it's like, where are we going here? He's not Richard. He doesn't know how to take care of my home in the Berkshires. I mean, it's like, I don't understand him sometimes like I don't understand Tinsley. Tinsley's nothing to me. Tinsley's a mint in my mouth that I eat and I swallow. She's nothing. I could care less about Tinsley. Meanwhile, Tinsley goes and takes his boxing class from this guy who I guess sometimes makes an appearance on other TV shows, but he's pretty funny. And she's like telling about how she and Dorinda are getting along. He calls her Dorita. And she goes, you mean Dorinda? He goes, why don't you change your name? Then he gives her a little pep talk at the end and he goes, there's only one Tinsdale. There's only one. And she goes, well, there isn't one Tinsdale because I don't know who Tinsdale is, but I'm Tinsley. I mean, it was really good comedy, great editing, them both being really real in the moment. So they go, Luann puts a fun pumpkin. This is the fall. They're going to go pumpkin patch, and go to a corn maze, but also has a winery, of course. So they go there and they're sitting there and Dorinda just starts again going after Tinsley. It's like so weird. She goes, she's like, Tinsley, you're invisible. You're invisible. And you know what? My gum lasts longer than your relationships. And then everyone's like, God, why are you being so mean? And she's like, Tinsley wanted a bitch. She got a fucking bitch. And I served it warm. I've buried a husband. Starts getting really sad. I buried a husband. This is not the story I wrote. I did everything right. I mean, I've never been dishonest. If you call me a dog, I'm going to bark every time, Tinsley. Everyone's like, what does Tinsley have to do with you burying a husband or you breaking up with John? It was very weird. And Ramona's had a lot of really great moments. She has counseled Leah about talking to her mother directly. And then Ramona says to Dorinda, you know what, Dorinda? It's hard, because with Mario, he felt that he was being inadequate, and I was like, it's really kind of really upsetting to me, Mario, that you're acting like that. And then, he went off and he cheated, and it wasn't meant to be. And now we've grown and we've gone our separate ways. And Dorinda's like, I know, I don't know. John, I never want someone to say that their life was less than because they met Dorinda Medley. And John will always have a seat at my table. Well, meanwhile, Sonia, who's been on a juice cleanse and a soup cleanse for a week, finally gets some alcohol in her, and she is freaking wasted. And she's hitting on the owner of the place, and she's like, yeah. And she's going, she's like, you're rich. How many acres do you own? Anyway, watch my Sonia reenactment. We reenacted the whole thing in the corn maze. You go to @HeatherMcDonald, and she gets wasted. She pees. She finds free corn. She pees in the cornfield. She comes back, and she's like, ooh, I like this blue cheese. This blue cheese makes your pussy wet. I'll have some Riesling if it's for lubricant. Everyone's like, oh my God. She's like, I got pounded last night. Pounded. She is off the hook. And it was so entertaining. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And It's getting good, you guys. I don't miss me so many. I don't miss Bethany. I really don't. That's how good it is. All right, now let's get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Well, we're having some fun. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just got real freaking good. Thanks to all of them, but I want to say Denise Richards is really bringing it. So, where we're at with the girls is Denise had a party and she's, enjoying her barbecue party with her friends. It's very lovely. And a fight breaks out because Kyle, as I mentioned last week, is so pissed that Dorit got to roll up at Teddy's event in Laguna Beach at noon and she had to be there. Her call time, which is what we call when you're an actress, your call time was much earlier. And she doesn't say that because we can't break the fourth wall. But listen, now Kyle is exhausted. She's carrying the show. She's been on it for 12 years. Now she's starting to get like Lisa Rinna was with Lisa Vanderpump last year. Just kind of pissed that she has to show up and work and someone else doesn't. And but everybody's just kind of like, all right, Kyle. And I told you the truth is, I think, is that Kyle is A, exhausted from traveling, and B, she hates her bangs. Okay, so that's where we're at. So she just won't stop. And she's attacking everybody. And Lisa Rinna is like, all right, Kyle, what's going on here? You're not, no, you don't really support me. You didn't support me with my sister. And Kyle's like, oh my God, Rinna, you're going to bring up my sister. Yes, I have. I actually did defend you over my own flesh and blood. Let's go, Mauricio, I forgot your name. I'm just so upset. And Mauricio is like, okay, darling, let's go. Oh, that was not a fun dinner. And he's, nice and buzzed or high. He's just a delightful husband. He just gives her a hug and they leave. And everyone's like, what is up with Kyle? What is happening? So the next day, Denise and Erica Jane go for coffee. And Erica Jane goes, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a dirty mouth. I'm sorry I talked about having threesomes and kissing girls and, with your kids around the corner. And Denise is like, oh, it's fine. I really don't, have a great clean mouth either. But, it's just got a little wild. I don't know what was going on with Kyle. And Erica says, well, I'll tell you, she's got a lot going on. She's the world's best mom, the world's best wife. She's filming a movie. She has a lot on her plate. I can't even imagine. And they cut to Denise Richards. Now, this is what's so amazing about last night's episode. Her confessionals, she's wearing this little like sparkly tank top. And I think she shot it all in one day, way past the time she stopped filming, right before the show was about to air. And I think she really had time to really think about, A, what happened during the filming and what happened post. And she is guns a-blazing in her interviews. And she says, really, Kyle? I'm filming in Los Angeles. I have an ex-husband I have to deal with. I've got a kid with special needs. Aaron has a huge penis that I have to wake up and ride every morning to hear me complaining. So stop your whining, Kyle. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Okay. So the next day, it's very exciting because Lois is in town and Lois is Lisa Rinna's mother, who really, she's 91 years old. She looks about 68. It's like the genes on Lisa Rinna are amazing. Then the two model daughters, the one model daughter, Amelia, dropped out of school in New York. And it was really upsetting. It was really hard. They didn't know how she was going to get back on her feet. But 2 weeks later, she has a clothing line with her sister. But Lisa Rinna's, she owns it. And owns it by when she's in her confessional, she says, do I think that Delilah and Amelia would have their own clothing line if Harry fucking Hamlin and I weren't their parents? Hell no! But you know what? They've got Harry's brains and they've got my hustle. So the girls have some cute clothing line and we get to see them put that together. And now they're going to have a little party at Beauty and Essence to celebrate it. But before they do that, they're all going to meet at Erica Jane's studio. Like she's kind of got this cool office with all her costumes and shit. And I guess it's close to where the Beauty and Essex place is for the party. So they meet there and everyone arrives. And Dorit, who absolutely is not ashamed of loving glam, mind you, had time to do a 14-pound weight of a chain that wrapped around her ponytail and just dusted the tops of her ankle. And it's fun, it's fashionable. I let Phoenix and Jagger swing on it for 14 minutes before I left, and I took 8 Advil, and I'm ready to have a wonderful time. So Sutton is there, the new girl, who is very rich and from the South. And she's like, oh, all right, I guess we're going to this thing. These girls have their own fashion line, and they're 18 and 21. Okay, great. I'm excited to be there. Good. And Lisa Rinna's like, hey, Kyle, can I just talk to you for a second? Hey, I want to apologize. That was not a good example to bring up your sister the other night. And I just want to move forward. And Kyle's like, yeah, okay, great. Like, I think I told you before, I'm just like not loving my bangs. I get it, girl. I get it. So they go to the party. The girls are doing great. And she goes, and you know that Delilah did all this herself, these flowers? Yeah. You know what she did? She DM'd the flower people and they sent them for free. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. A hustler. Are you kidding me right now? Gorgeous. So Lois, she also brings Lois along, the 91-year-old fabulous mother. So now they go to dinner. But right before they got to the Beauty and Essex thing for the daughter's fashion launch, Lisa Rinna goes, oh, and there's a special surprise, a little collaboration the girls did with someone that we all know who's real fun. And I think it's going to be, you guys will all be surprised. And Sutton says to Dorit, oh, God, I'm kind of freaking out. I'm about to freak the fuck out right now. And Dorit's like, why? Why would you be freaking out, Sutton? She's like, oh my God, oh fuck. Like, I'm going to freak the fuck. Oh God, I'm going to freak the fuck out. And Dorit's like, what? Why are you going to freak the fuck out? I don't get it. So then she explains to us through the camera that she had a collaboration with a makeup artist who does Lisa Rinna's makeup to create the Glam app, which is like an app where, you know, if you want someone to come to your house and do a blowout or a pedicure, you know, they connect the people, which is a great genius thing. She's like, we put in millions of dollars, but since then, Joey, the makeup artist, and I have had a falling out, and I was terrified that I'd have to see him for the first time at the Lisa Rinna Daughters event. Well, it wasn't. It was the fat Jew who put some label as like fancy as fuck or whatever, drunk as fuck rosé, and had it there. And whatever. That was the big surprise. So she's like, oh my God, thank God it was some fat Jewish person. It wasn't the makeup artist. Oh, thank goodness. So then they go to dinner, and Dorit goes, if I could just bring up something that was quite disturbing. I was a little bit shook when Sutton said she was going to freak the fuck out when she arrived at your daughter's event. And I mean, I don't know how to react to that. I don't know if I should call the police. I don't know if I need to call PK. I don't know what I'm supposed to do when someone says they're going to freak out. I don't know what the level of that means. I mean, do we have to do a 5150? Are you Britney Spears? I mean, what is the problem? And Sutton's like, oh my God, okay. I just thought that the makeup artist that you worked with, I had a falling out business-wise with him, and I was just afraid I'd have an awkward moment of meeting him, but it wasn't, and that's fine. And Lisa Rinna goes, oh, are you telling me you were about to freak the fuck out at my daughter's fashion line event that they have been working on for 17 to 18 days? Are you freaking kidding me? I would have smacked you, Sutton. Sutton goes, oh my God, I have never seen Lisa Rinna act like this. Like, what is going on? So Kyle then is like, whoa, just you guys. Sutton starts to cry. She's like, look, I had a really, bad business breakup with this person, and I'm like a little bit upset about it. Like, I'm sorry, you of all people, Dorit, should know when a bad business thing goes on. And she goes, oh, me of all people. Yes, it's true. I've had some business issues happen, but Bupo de Beppo wants me to redo a room at their Encino franchised restaurant. And of course, I'm dying because you guys know I've talked about Bupo de Beppo in Encino because that is where Bryn Hartman had her last 2 Cosmos before she tragically went home and killed comedian Phil Hartman and herself. It is at that now partially owned Bupo de Beppo, Buca, whatever. It's family style Italian food, and they obviously serve Cosmos. Now Dorit is going to decorate a room there, what we can all go and eat at, which, believe me, I'm going. So, she's like, "I'm just saying." She keeps bringing it up, and finally Sutton goes, "Okay, okay, Dorit, you've had your fun. Stop playing with the mouse, okay? Stop playing with the mouse. Put the mouse away. Stop playing with the mouse." And that's what they actually called the episode, the Bravo Genius people, because and I'm just like, "Oh, that's what it is," because my cat, Simba, likes to, get a mouse or a lizard and torture it, and they play with it, play with it, they play with it. Sometimes they let it go, and sometimes they kill it. So she was saying, "Dorit, you're the cat, I'm the mouse. Let me live, and let me have my, my roasted beet salad. Can we just please leave me alone?" So, she's like, "It's honestly, I did not mean to hurt you at all, Suttons. You're absolutely, like, getting out of hand." And so then we have the greatest moment where Denise is there and Kyle goes, they go, "Okay, so and they go, what is going on with you, Kyle? Why did you say that we were all full of shit and we're not being honest with each other?" And she goes, "Okay, I'll tell you, okay? Denise, you've always been this, jeans and hair up. And then we get to your house and you have a diamond sculpture and you're getting glam. And it's like, you've certainly changed a lot." And Denise is like, "What? Glam? I'm filming all the time. Half the time when I see you guys, it's because I came off of set." And then they go back to the confessional where she came on fire and probably worked for 12 hours coming up with these things. And she says, right to the camera, "I'm fucking Denise Richards, Kyle. I don't think these bitches know I've been on like every fucking magazine that they would want to be on." Boom. Oh my God. And it's right. I think they forget. Like Kyle was a child actress and Kyle's been on this show for 10 years, but Denise has steadily worked as a model, personality, actress, all of it, movies, TV, the whole gamut, steadily for like almost 30 years. So, yeah, she is fucking Denise Richards. And it was amazing. And so I really just can't wait for next week. It's getting good, guys. It's getting good. A lot of people, one person said that they is Kyle getting a bad edit? No, she's not getting a bad edit. She was having a bad week. That's it. Anyway,